All right, welcome to Entertechment. This is Entertechment, show number 201, recorded on Sunday, October 26, 2014. On the show, let's introduce to you our guest. Yeah, it's not really a guest because kind of here all the time. Joe Macer. Hello, Joe.
Hello, do I count as a guest if
Yeah,
I've been here every
I
episode?
don't know. It's like a resident guest.
It's like guest starring so and so.
Yeah,
Like
featuring.
you're on every episode.
Yeah.
What does
And,
that mean?
and for those watching the video, let's introduce Joe's 3D printer. So we've got a little action in the 3D room going on. Why don't you tell us what we're looking at, Joe?
My garage.
This is your garage. This is you've attached, like we talked about a couple episodes ago. You've attached a camera so that you can watch what's being printed from
Yes.
anywhere you have an
Well,
internet connection.
well, yeah, I don't actually have it enabled so I can look at it from outside. I don't have any ports forwarded or anything,
Oh,
but
okay.
I have it anywhere in the house. I can look up and see what's going on. I think it would be bad if I checked in from work because I might, be checking all day.
Oh, okay.
But what this does clear the way for, what I did was I built an enclosure and put it out in the garage. So now I can print and it clears the way for now I can do 48-hour prints or something like that, where something that's
Okay.
going to take a long, long time. I can just fire it off. It's in the garage. It's out of the way. It's not
No,
going to
it
get dusty. It
doesn't keep you up at night with the noise.
doesn't keep me up at night with the noise. No
Okay.
one else is hopefully going to come along and mess with it. Can't guarantee that. But that would hopefully be the plan.
Nobody turns the switch to off.
Right. And that could be a horrible thing if you think
Oh,
about if you were printing something. I saw a tutorial this week and they were printing this Daft Punk full size helmet
okay.
and it was huge and it was full size, fit on your head and had all these LEDs, and I was like, wow, that's cool. And it's like, well, it only took 3 days to print. I'm thinking if
Oh.
you were at day two or day two and a
Two
half
hours and 2 days and 12 hours. Huh.
and it failed, you'd be
Oh,
upset. You'd be
wow.
like starting all over again.
Start
So
over.
yeah, so
That's
that's
cool.
kind of
So,
it.
so what are you printing right now?
I'm printing a handle
A handle. That sounds
to go on the
exciting.
enclosure.
Wouldn't that be something to have a 3D printer be able to program it to build itself?
You can do a lot of parts. You can build a lot of parts for 3D printers. There's some
Yeah.
things obviously that because of heat or stress wouldn't quite work, but there are a lot of the parts you can build
Huh.
and upgrade your printer with the printer.
With a
So
printer,
it's
it
kind of
upgrades
with the,
itself.
I want the complete von Neumann machine, where it can build itself and
Oh, wow.
replicate. But anyway, for now it's fun. It's a
Okay.
cool experiment.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you have any print jobs queued up? Like, what are your next 2 or 3 things you're going to be doing?
I think now that I have it in the garage, I'd like to try something big. I'd like to try like a prop gun or a lightsaber or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that, because that would require, now you print it, now it's like, okay, now I gotta, if it's pieces, I gotta put them together, I gotta finish them and then paint them, and
Yeah.
that's where I need Care to be on here to show me how to do like the wash or something, so that you get the rusty look or the aged, weathered
Okay.
look. Because
Interesting.
mine's probably just gonna be like blue.
Blue.
It's just- this is blue.
Huh.
Are you sure that's a lightsaber?
Uh huh. It
But
was.
you see things that people do that are just amazing.
Yeah.
Just trying to think
Especially
of
in the world of cosplay.
yes, definitely suits of armor and
Yeah.
guns and weapons and all those sort of things. Trying to see if I can find my. Oop, that's wrong. Don't go there.
Ladies and gentlemen, our sponsor, D&B Supply.
I was trying to go to Thingiverse and see if I could find that gun, but that's kind of cool showing you the screen so you can see the that stuff. So let's find a good lightsaber. I'm sure somebody's
Somebody's made
done
one.
something, put one of those things out there. Anakin Skywalker. Let's see.
Huh.
Lightsaber pencil topper. With you.
Lightsaber chopsticks.
Replacement lightsaber for your old Luke Skywalker
Action figure.
action figure.
Oh,
How
that's
cool is
funny.
that? Where's a wall mount for
Now, is
lightsabers?
that the
Because
one
I
that
have
he
so
holds or
many.
the one that comes out of his arm?
It looks like the one that comes out of his arm.
Okay. Because I know in
So
the later models, they ended up giving his own lightsaber that he holds, rather than that little tab piece of colored plastic that comes out of Luke and Obi-Wan and Darth Vader's plastic arm.
hmm maybe he'd matured enough that they said you can
Yeah,
hold it now.
you can hold
You're
it
not
now.
going to lose it.
Yeah.
Something. So yeah, there's one there.
A lightsaber
Pretty
with a stand. Wow. That's pretty
very
impressive.
nice. But yeah, that's many. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize with 3D printing is that the print is just the first part. You know,
Then
there's within
comes
it's like woodworking or metalworking or whatever. You build the thing, and then there's tons of finishing at the end.
you build the birdhouse. Now you have to paint it.
Paint it, sandpaper, sand it, prime it,
Uh,
all that stuff, and make it look cool. So
dip it in a wash.
yes. Speaking of wash, because Kier knows how to do all those painting things, and he's not here. Oh, there's Monster Hunter. Hang on, I gotta find my gotta go to my print and see how it's doing.
You got to check up on.
So
Okay.
we'll go.
Ladies and
It's
gentlemen,
it's
3D cam.
only 8 minutes left.
Oh, wow.
I may
So
have
it's
to
going to
stop the
finish during
show
the
and run
show.
down and go get it.
Yeah. Run downstairs to grab it. And here it is. The finished
Cameras
product.
sometimes are so much fun. We put in one at my dad's house so he could watch his dogs out in the kennel.
Oh, my gosh.
And he borrowed a dustbuster for something, and he came in the house and used it. I said, "Go put it back." And I watched him on camera because he went right by the dog kennel and just put it down on some. He tried to. I wish I could have recorded because he tried to put it in the holder and he could not. It was like some kind of
This does not
strange,
go here.
right, square peg, round hole. It's just upside down, this way, that way.
Yeah, whatever. I'm
And
going to
then
go play with
finally
the
he
dogs.
just put it down below it and came back in. I said, "You didn't put the dustbuster away." He's like, "Yeah, I did." And I said, "No, you didn't."
No, you
How do you
didn't.
know? Because I have you right here on camera. And he's like, "Oh."
No, I
like-
would have left him wondering. It's like,
It's
listen, I can see
well, no, 'cause
everything.
he'll argue. He'll
Uh-huh.
argue in the absence of any kind of proof. He will just, "Oh no, I did. I did."
He takes the
But it's
lawyer
like, no.
approach.
Here it is. It's right here. I can see
You
it.
can see it. You
I can
are
see
on
what you did.
camera, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to our topics today. The first off, okay. So Blizzard, we've got BlizzCon coming up here pretty soon. Blizzard has launched their new MOBA, massively online battle arena, called Heroes of the Storm. It's in alpha right now. But if you've ever played League of Legends, if you've ever played Dota or Dota 2, this is basically exactly like it, except using the characters from the Blizzard universe. So one of the free characters you can play is Jim Raynor from StarCraft and StarCraft 2. And so you start off your game. Now there are a few things that I like about it, and of course a few things that I don't like about it. Now I'm not a huge League of Legends person. I've dabbled in it. I've played it a little bit, but so my expertise on the MOBA subject is going to be very limited. This is just coming from things that I like about the game compared to Dota and League of Legends. The first step is you start at your spawning point, and then you have 3 lanes of travel to get to the enemy base. You can take, upper, mid, lower, and usually in a MOBA, your character has to walk. If let's say you're in the middle of combat, you die, you respawn after a certain amount of time at your base, you have to walk all the way back to where the battle is. In Heroes of the Storm, they give you a mount, like a horse or a unicorn or a battle panther, which would be awesome.
A battle panther.
And you can ride that to wherever it was that you were fighting or wherever you want to. Then you dismount and then you engage in combat. Now you can mount up again, and let's say your health gets really low, you want to go back to a healing shrine. You can mount up. While you're on a mount, you can't fight, but you can move at an incredible rate of speed. And
Breaking
so,
the laws of physics.
yeah. And so that is really nice. It's going to cost you, and I think I'm trying to remember. Sometime this week, I just saw a little blip of how much League of Legends has made because of microtransactions. Because the game is free to play, and they start you off with a couple characters, but they have tens upon tens upon tens of different characters. That specialize in different things, have different attributes. You're either a ranged or you're close-up melee. You're a ranged character, and each one of those costs a little bit of money. And League of Legends has made it's basically a license to print money. It kind of reminds me a lot
Hmm.
of Skylanders.
Yeah,
You just have to buy another character and another character, and
it's
so
like
Blizzard.
Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
made a piece of cardboard with a picture on it that'll cost you $100
yes, a
because
hundred
you don't
bucks,
have this one.
because it's an original.
Yeah.
So in this Blizzard Heroes of the Storm, they have the pricing, and it can be anywhere from $3, $2, $3 to $10 for a character if you want to use them in the MOBA. A couple of them are free to get you started and get you used to it. But
Jeez, that's just one more thing I don't need to.
yeah, here's another way that Blizzard is printing money. Not only can you buy the character for a certain amount of money, but you can buy different skins for it. You can buy different mounts. So I think, depending on, they're still making money, obviously, with World of Warcraft, but I think they're looking beyond, once World of Warcraft peters out and nobody wants to play it anymore, what's going to be our next license to print money? And I think if Heroes of the Storm takes off, and here you have, I don't know if you watched any of the League of Legends World Championships, but you have a stadium of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people watching a team or two teams play a MOBA against each other. The esports has really picked up on the MOBAs, and who happens to have a convention every year just for Blizzard? Blizzard does. And so I'm wondering if you're going to see some competitive Heroes of the Storm tournaments with large cash payouts.
It's become, I mean, becoming a legitimate sport.
Esports, yeah. And so not only do you have, on the one end, people are, obviously going to want to pay to get the better character, the better abilities, but now you're going to have people watching it and playing competitively because they set it up to where 5 people can play on a team. And so you can have 5-on-5 matches and championships, and so they're
Oh, it's done.
3D printing job finished. Do you have like a little a musical tone that alerts you, calls you on
No,
your cell phone?
I should do something.
Job
I
is
was
finished.
thinking about. I don't know if it supports that or not. It's something else I'll have to take a look and see. But yeah, so I got the handle there. I'll have to go down and get it before too long. But enough of that. But I digress.
So anyway,
Esports, yes, esports.
yeah. So if you haven't played Heroes of the Storm, if you have the Blizzard client to launch, your StarCraft game, your World of Warcraft game, your Diablo game, then I think you automatically get an alpha invitation to download and play Heroes of the Storm. So that'll be something that you have to check out. Yeah, you and Kara have to start playing so we can do some 3 versus 3 us versus a computer matches.
Now, which one is this Heroes of the Storm or League of Legends?
Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm we need to
Yeah.
take a look at.
Yeah.
Great.
One.
'Cause he was just telling me I need to do League of Legends.
Well, he'll like Heroes of the Storm if he's playing League of Legends, and he'll like Heroes of the Storm.
So is it okay? All right, well, I'll have to go take a look at it. It's just one more thing to learn.
Yep.
Jeez.
And the nice thing is, now that it's being launched in alpha, you get in on the ground floor of it. Whereas if I were to go up against somebody in League of Legends, I'd probably not last very long.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I like being able to play against the computer. Call me wimpy or whatever, but you have people that just play and play and play,
Oh,
and their
yeah.
skill. It's like us playing with pro golfers. Come on over here.
yeah,
Or pro
No.
football players or anything.
that's okay. I'll just stay on my own team.
I'll be fine.
I'll
You
fine
can
over
build up
here.
your skill on your own, have a good time, feel like you're
Yeah.
advancing instead of just getting crushed
Right.
every time you
single
play and
time.
owned by some 12-year-old.
Exactly. Who's not afraid to tell you that he's owning you.
He's number one and you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until he gets
Plenty
called
of,
up to has to do his chores.
Yes.
So,
and that
did you watch the Halo Nightfall trailer?
yes. Now, is that actually a series or is that just a movie? It comes in the Master Chief pack, right?
Right,
The Master
the
Chief
collection that is coming out next month. And so I think what it is it's going to be a digital series, And I think if you buy the Master Collection, you get the series. They're shooting it, and so as it's released, you'll get to watch it on Xbox.
I loved Forward Until Dawn. I
Yep.
want to see a Halo movie. I want to see a Halo show.
Series.
Yes.
And from the sizzle reel that they showed, that I think happened right after I think it was towards the end of the trailer, that things start really picking up. You get to see a lot of different of the races of the different enemies. And it's like, okay, special effects are starting to pick up here.
I don't know. I'm ready for it. Just give me more.
Just give it to me.
Yeah.
So on hackaday.com, tell me a little bit about this Commodore 64 emulator.
Oh, I just picked that one out because you and I have a special spot for
Affinity for the
affinity for
C64.
the Commodore 64. So someone's basically built this into some kind of a microcontroller, I believe. It's called the STM32.
Huh.
So they built it and put it in this nice plexiglass case with a screen, and here's your Commodore 64 and fully emulated.
Wow.
Just a lot of nostalgia there.
Does it come
Looks
with a
cool.
1541 disk drive?
No, but it probably makes a noise like it and goes. I'm reading your disc, or I might be chewing it up. You don't know.
And then the clicking begins. You're like, oh no.
Yeah, click, click,
Click,
click,
click, click,
click.
click. It's like, turn it off, turn it back on again.
Those were the good old
I
days.
got into a conversation with somebody yesterday about the good old days of Commodore 64, and yeah, all the Jumpman Junior. That was such a franchise game for the Commodore 64. It was crazy. It's like our Donkey Kong.
And I used to love the all the Infocom games.
Yeah.
Those were so much fun. Who was telling me about? Oh, somebody was recently playing one, and I was like, oh, I need to go back and do that. Just never have the time to do those anymore.
Sit down and play the Lurking Horror.
Yeah.
All those fun games.
And that was the one I tried to play last time, and I just didn't have. I started it, and then I was like, oh, you get to something else, and then
Yeah.
shoot, I forgot.
Then a
Move
couple
on to
hours
something
go
else.
by. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking walking down a path down memory lane, I was walking in our local mall, and a place has opened up that has like old classic and some new arcade games. The cabinet stand-up arcade games that you can play, and I was thinking, oh man, you remember how many tokens were?
Or quarters, or yeah. At least there were some
Through it.
places, you get 5 tokens for $1 or something.
Exactly. It's
Because
kind
they
of
knew you couldn't
interesting.
spend them.
Yeah, anywhere else but at the Electronic Palace or Aladdin's Castle or
My mom got me a little thing full of Electronic Palace tokens for Christmas.
yeah.
I think it was probably like $5 worth or something. It was like 30 or maybe it was like 50 tokens. I don't know. It was something like that. And then they went out of business the next month.
Oh.
And we lived quite a ways out of town, so we
Right.
didn't get there very often. So next time we went into town, I'm like, oh, I can't use them.
I'm stuck with these now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that was
man.
the turning point. From then on out, it's like, nope, I'm only playing them at home.
Cash only.
That's right.
Huh. I think what was it? Chuck E. Cheese, when it opened up, they decided to go the nickel route, and you could play for like 2 or 3 nickels instead of quarters. But I think we all know what killed the arcade game, but what was like the most expensive game during our era, during our generation to play? I think
There were some that took like 4 quarters.
there had to have been some
play.
that was like $1 to play. I think anything that you sat down in
Yep, the sit-down ones.
that had the immersive, either like
We're
a
really dating
motorcycle
ourselves
or
here.
or driving ones that you'd get to play for 60 seconds, and then they'd say
Put more quarters in now. $20 later. It's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Insert quarters to increase health. Gauntlet was a good quarter eater.
Oh, Gauntlet was one of the worst.
Yeah.
Well, how smart were they to just, warrior's about to die. Give me another quarter.
I need another quarter.
You'll get more health.
And
You can keep playing.
not only does one person play the game at a time, but you can have up to 4 people shoveling quarters into it.
Which is even worse because now you don't want to get left behind and
Yeah.
your friends. And so,
Come on,
okay,
man,
well,
come on, man, hurry.
what a brilliant strategy
We're
that
about to
was.
go to level 10. Yeah. Oh
Yeah, no
man.
saving, anything like that. You're toast.
So now here you can, according to restorationhardware.com, they have old arcade, cabinet arcade games that you can purchase and put in your own house that don't need quarters at all. Because if you wanted to, excuse me, if you wanted to play a, classic Donkey Kong or Ms. Pac-Man game,
That
like
would be it.
we have a stand-up arcade game, Track and Field at work that that was the ultimate button masher game.
Where was that? It was right here on the website. Ah, I found that now. I can't find it.
I was just say, just put a search up in the upper right corner there in the search box for arcade game, and it
I'll
brings it
just
up.
look for Donkey Kong.
But
But I actually found it in the menu.
it is great. Just have that in your den.
Doom 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 doom.
Yeah. If there was one classic arcade game you could have in your house, which would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question.
If you could only have one, I think
Uh,
I'd choose
and,
a
and
game that would have replayability.
yes,
I mean, it'd be fun
I
to
don't
have like a
know.
Dragon's Lair or Space Ace, but once you know
The,
all the moves,
it would be. In fact, there was a Space Ace when we went to Grinkers a couple months ago, and I
oh yeah,
played it, and I remembered some of the moves, and then I got to
some
one
of
part, I was
them.
like, oh, I can't remember. Dang it! I
Which
used to be able
way?
to get this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other part is I was thinking Galaga, and I was like, no, I don't want that because then I'll get like carpal tunnel syndrome or something.
Yeah, I think probably either Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong Jr.
Donkey Kong's a classic,
Yeah,
yeah. Or
I mean
Pac-Man maybe, just for the Pac-Man
Pac-Man or
nostalgia.
Ms. The nice thing about Ms. Pac-Man is you had different screens, you had different levels,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not the same map every single time.
See what they have on their search here. Centipede. Oh, that was fun.
I never liked Centipede.
So that trackball.
The
So
trackball, not a big fan.
darn trackball messing things up.
That and Missile Command, two of the
Missile Command.
biggest games with trackballs.
Joust was fun. I like Joust.
Yeah.
Joust, and then oh no, that was the other one. The Defender. Defender
Ah,
had really cool sound effects and
okay. And they
side
have,
scrolling.
and then what was it, Hyper Defender or Super Defender that came out with 85 buttons on the panel?
Yeah, those were fun. Those
Each
were
one
cool.
could do different things.
So these are actually built. I was reading down below here.
Okay.
Custom orders begin production immediately upon order and built to your specifications.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ah.
So they're not like old cabinets that they've
No, they're
salvaged.
brand new. They probably just
Have a giant
cut them
3D
out, slap
printer.
some stickers on them, and
Slap some stickers. Yeah.
probably the inside is probably just a cartridge or something they plug in or software they load, and it's done.
Yeah.
And who knows?
Oh, that'd be cool. It'd be cool to have what's called what was it, the Neo Geo? And our local arcade has that. And what it does is it has 100 or 150 different arcade games,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could just select which one you want to play, and it has buttons that'll match each of the games that you want to play.
Ah, but they're not always in the right place.
Not always.
Could be messed up.
But if I had to narrow it down to just one single arcade game, I think probably, I don't know, probably Donkey Kong Jr. I really
I
like
might
that
have
game.
to go with yeah. I might have to go with something like that. I'm trying to think. Too many. I loved Asteroids. That was a fun one too.
Yeah.
Played for a while.
Asteroids
Just because you
Deluxe.
have that in the background. Dun 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 dun. Dun.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, man. Did you get to see the Age of Ultron trailer this week?
I did,
Oh, my
and I
gosh.
was like, "Is that James Spader?"
James Spader's voice.
That voice. I'm like, I
Oh,
know that
man.
voice.
That is so good. And I was a little
It's
bit worried
exciting.
that, a lot of like we've talked about before, how actors, especially in these superhero movies, they want to be seen. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you watch most all the major modern day superhero movies, at some point their mask gets ripped off so you can see their face.
Mm-hmm.
James Spader, I was really surprised. He's just in it for the voice.
Well,
But
he's got the
man,
voice.
does he do a good job. I mean, just in the trailer alone. I think it kind of broke the internet when it came out because it was supposed to be. They said they hyped it up and said, "Hey, it's going to be. You can watch the trailer on would be this week's Marvel's Agents of Shield." And then, like a couple days later, it just shows up on the internet. It's like, whoops, leaked.
Here it is.
Yeah. So
So,
Marvel
yeah.
decided to leak the whole thing.
Well, because if it is on TV, somebody DVR'd it, and you know it's going to show up in some crappy format somewhere.
Right, and that's the way it was. It was kind of a pixelated format, and I think probably what happened, and I don't know if this is true. This is just complete, pure conjecture and speculation, that somebody either within Marvel or within the television industry had, shot it off a screen or something, and then released that on the internet. Because the very first time I saw it, it was low quality, and it said April 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be released in May. And then the next time I watched it was on Marvel's official YouTube channel, and it had May 2015.
Ah,
So it might have been either like an early, somebody got a hold of it early and released it to the internet. So Marvel just says, okay, fine, we won't make you wait. Here it is. And man, oh man, what a trailer.
it's cool, but I'm a little worried because there's so many superheroes now. I mean, will they all get their time on screen?
Yeah. I think Marvel's been pretty good for like when you have multiple heroes in a movie. Everybody gets their scene, everybody gets their hero shot, I guess you'd say. So I think Joss Whedon, who's the master of team ups, whether it be television or movies, will let everybody have their moment in the sun. But I am not worried at all. Not worried in the least bit. And it had kind of a darker tone
It did.
to it as well.
Things did not look like they were going well.
I did not hear one smart alecky comment from any of the heroes. No glibness. But
Which is too bad because I like that.
I like glib. And I'm sure it'll be in there, but I think we're just going to see some important ramifications come from this.
Some danger, like somebody dies.
I don't know about death, but they might either lose their power or something.
Oh no, not
significant.
one of those.
Yeah, significant happens to them.
I'm so tired. I just started watching Grimm again, and he's lost his powers. And I'm like, okay, I'm so tired of the lost their powers scenario.
Did you watch Constantine this week?
I did.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was an okay start.
I think I liked it a lot better than the movie version with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Now-
I'm still. I guess I'm gonna hold out and see.
Yeah.
It was the first episode, but I liked it better than Gotham.
Yeah. For Gotham's first episode.
Yeah, Gotham's first episode.
Yeah, I got to, let's see, I watched it on Tuesday. I got a advanced copy and
Of Constantine?
of Constantine from work. So we had promo
They do
copies.
that?
Yeah. For the pilot episode. And watched it, and it was kind of like, it's better than I expected it was going to be. It had more special effects than I thought it was going to have.
Yeah, it had quite a few.
And I think his name's Matt Ryan, who plays John Constantine. I thought he did a really good job. I thought, aside from chain smoking cigarettes, he was pretty close to the comic book character.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it worked out well. The only issue, and this is kind of interesting because I think Care brought it up a few weeks ago when we were talking about Constantine, and he mentioned it, and so it was kind of in the back of my head. And then when it happened, it's like, oh yeah. So the actress who was it? Her name was Liv.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the person who he had to help, and she was the one who could see the spirits and see into the spirit world. And the TV series was set up for him and her to kind of team up and work through the series because he can't see the spirits. She can. She can't exercise the spirits, but he can. And so if they team up together, they can work through these, different Scooby-Doo mysteries. She exited at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden she's gone. She went to California. we're not going to have her.
Wait,
And Karen mentioned that there was some issues on the set with her, and so they ejected her. They basically fired her from the series
okay, I
after
worried. I totally wondered about that because the last scene when he's like, "So and so left this for you," and
in the
she said to
bar.
do
Yeah,
this, and blah blah blah,
and
and
she
I'm
did
like,
all the work for you. So
and she did all this, and I'm like, why don't they just have her show up? I'm
yeah,
like, okay, so she's gone, and then my thought was, there's got to be a story that's not part of the actual story that happened in real life that messed this
yeah,
up or something.
and so
Because there's a
that
different girl
in the next
in
episode.
in the next episode.
Yeah, and so at the that
So
end
what did
scene
she
where
do?
he's
What did she
sitting,
do?
yeah, he's sitting at the bar,
Hmm.
and all that stuff happens. That was a scene that they shot after they finished the pilot to explain why she's not going to be in the series anymore. And so they're going to bring on a new person, kind of a scryer-like person,
Hmm.
who is going to help Constantine find the spirits. And so at the very end, there's that girl who's painting all these pictures, and that's going to
Oh,
be
that
her.
was okay.
That's
So
the
that's
new
gonna be
girl.
her.
Yeah.
I
So
see.
that was kind of interesting, and is like, oh yeah, Kara said that would happen.
I wondered with her. I was like, why is she only in that episode?
Yeah, in the
So
Wikipedia page, it says she had the producers had creative differences, which is a sign of yeah, she's too or he or she is too much of a pain to deal with at work.
I
So
don't like so and so. Yeah,
yeah,
creative differences.
yeah,
So nice. Liv Aberdeen. Lucy Grimes. Huh. Well, there we go.
yep.
That's the one of the. All right. So that
That ex-
explains that one.
that explains that.
Hey, one thing I wanted to mention. I
Yeah.
forgot to put it in the notes. I was trying to find something to watch for Halloween.
Okay.
So I sat down and most of this week I watched the first
Blackula.
season of. No, I did not. I watched the first season of Penny Dreadful,
Oh really?
and it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
League of Extraordinary
League
Gentlemen.
of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but without
Superheroes.
so much superhero kind of stuff. I mean,
Huh.
but you have these literary characters.
Victorian
You've got
era.
well, you've got Mina Harker. Well, yeah, she's in part of it, and then Van Helsing, and then Dr. Frankenstein, and
Huh.
uh, who's the other? Josh Hartnett is this cowboy sharpshooter, and then there's this other lady in there, and they're kind of just all intermixed with these stories, and so it's kind of interesting. But
Okay.
it was okay. It wasn't super. I mean, there were quite a few things that I could see. Oh, I can see this coming.
Yeah.
I could see this coming from
Freight
like
train.
episodes way, way back. I was like, okay,
Huh.
that's gonna happen. That's gonna,
Setting
and it
it
all
up for
did.
this.
But I really like Timothy Dalton in it. He's like he's good.
Huh. So did you watch the whole first season?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's only like 8 episodes.
Oh, really? Okay.
There were warn you. There's a couple episodes. Well, definitely not safe for work. But there's one possession episode where the girl's possessed, and I was like, by the time I was like just so sick of it, I was like, okay, let's just get this part done. This is dumb. What does this have to do with the? It's like it's gone on too long.
It's
Like
not
someone needs to
advancing
edit.
the story.
Right. Let's move the story along.
Okay.
But yeah,
Is it on Netflix right now, or?
it is not.
Hmm.
I don't think so because season 2 is coming out next year, so it's pretty fresh.
Okay.
I watched it on just off of DirecTV.
Ah. Okay.
Put it on there. So
Well, when it pops up, might have to check that out. So, Matt's comic book find of the week. It's not going to be a weekly
you,
series.
you
but
have one of the week, but
I have one of the week. I
Okay.
actually popped into my local comic book store, and somebody had brought in their collection of the New 52 from DC.
Mhm.
All the books from New 52. Every one that DC put out starting in it would have been December 2011.
They brought it in to sell.
They brought it in, and they turned it into the local comic book store, and so the store put out on their Facebook page, "Hey, look what we got!" So I rushed down there. Somebody had already bought the first 12 first 12 issues of Batman.
Uh huh.
Another person had already bought the first 12 issues of Green Arrow, and most of the Green Lantern stuff was picked through. But I did get Justice League. Oh, and the number ones were all gone too. But I did get some Justice League, so looking forward to that. Just Jim Lee art on that is just beautiful for Justice League. So
Cool.
so picked up a few of those, and then a little Green Lantern annual #1.
Oh,
So
dude.
that's pretty cool. But yeah, I was a little disappointed when I got there. It's like, oh man, all the ones I want are gone. Ah,
Someone else
oh
already has
well.
them.
Yeah. But that was kind of a nice little bonus to the weekend.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for this episode of Entertechment because we have to let Joe go so he can go
Oh,
get
my
his
handle. It's
3D,
done.
so he can get a handle on it. And so let me just let you know that you can listen to our past 200 episodes by going to our website at entertechment.com. You can also
Still
find
there.
us. It's still there. Also, wouldn't that be great if like a dog just jumped up, grabbed it, and ran off with it?
Yeah.
That'd be great. You can find us on Stitcher, which just got bought by another company this week. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, Google Plus as well. So, on behalf of Joe Macer and the mysterious Care Ballantyne, who'll be with us next time, I'm Matt Davenport, and that's a wrap.